So it looks like there's more accusation talks going on. Microsoft might have bought another studio, and I want to talk about it. But before we get on with the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoy the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content. And don't forget to go over there and follow me at Twitter at LordAddictILP. Without any further ado, let's talk about rumors of Microsoft buying another company. Let's get it. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Guide here, coming at you for another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft potentially buying another studio. I know I've made a few of these videos. I just personally feel like speculating whether or not any company buys any other company in terms of developers and IPs is always something I enjoy doing. It's not necessarily off if I want this to happen, but it's really on of what's the possibilities that this does happen. Now, let's talk about the studio in which Microsoft might be buying. We don't really know that. Let's talk about the IPs that Microsoft might be getting with buying these studios. We don't know that either. But a really trusted source named Jez Corden put on, I don't know if it's reset error or something. I don't really necessarily know what it is. Looks like it might be Discord. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen. We can read it together and go over what's being said. So someone as Half7, I definitely butchered your name. I don't know how you want to pronounce it, man, but we're going to move on with that. Jez Corden, do you know if there are any truths to the rumors that Microsoft bought an existing IP? Here's what Jez Corden said. I have a very good rumors that Microsoft has acquired some IPs, yes. But the ones I've heard about are not like AAA hype level stuff, and they may be in fact part of a studio acquisition. And then it looks like that same outlet asked him, do you think there will be any acquisition announcements during the show, or will they just focus on games? I'm assuming he meant games. Doesn't really say anything after focus on, and this is what Jez Corden had to say. I think there's a very good chance of at least one acquisition being announced at the show. Now, Jez Corden has gotten a lot of things right. He has a lot of information that he keeps close to the chest. So I think if he's saying that he's hearing things, Jez Corden doesn't really take a whole lot of gossip at heart unless he's heard from multiple different sources. And to me, if he's coming out openly and saying stuff like this, he's definitely hearing something. Whether or not if it's a full-blown studio acquisition or they're buying an IP in general is besides the point. I do think most likely what you're going to see in these type of scenarios is that Microsoft bought a studio and they got their IPs through that acquisition, because I'm sure all of you know that that's how business works. If you buy the company, you own everything that the company that you have bought owns. Now let's talk about the last little thing that Jez Corden says. He says, didn't intend for the comments to go far and wide, but no, I wouldn't be surprised if there was an acquisition, but I have no hard evidence. Y'all know how I like my evidence. And that's pretty much Jez Corden saying, look, I've heard things, but I got no evidence to prove it. And you guys know how he likes to function on Twitter, on podcasts. He doesn't like to say anything as facts. He wants to make sure that he crosses all his T's and dots all his I's, because that's the journalist that he is. He's a fantastic journalist, and for the most part, Jez has been really accurate with his takes on things. And if he's saying it looks like there's some smoke, so there has to be fire, I'm willing to believe the dude. Now, obviously, like it said he has no evidence. So at the end of the day, take everything with a grain of salt like we do every acquisition rumor video. But let's talk a little bit about some of the things that he brought up in this. You guys know how I like to do it. I like to read the entire statements and then pick them apart, go over particular parts of the statement. Let's talk about when he said it's not a AAA level stuff. So don't expect Sega. Don't expect, anything on that kind of caliber. I would expect, maybe some AA studio or maybe even an indie studio. There's a lot of things going on at E3 and there's a lot of companies there. Maybe Don't Not, the people that make Life is Strange, I've noticed that they've gotten really comfortable with that studio, and I feel like that would be a perfect purchase to really capitalize on Game Pass. They make episodic games, and in my personal opinion, sure, I've not really liked, Life is Strange 2 or the last game they made, but the original Life is Strange is some of the best episodic gaming you can do. And the crazy part about this is every studio that they work with to get their games in Game Pass, they're all candidates. As long as they're not really big, like in a AAA status, I feel like all of those could be candidates for what Jez Corden is talking about here. For some reason, I think this is far-fetched and probably not gonna happen, but you know what would be absolutely mind-blowing? I don't think this is really going along with this AAA thing. I don't know how you guys feel about Techland, the people who make Dying Light. I don't know if a lot of people would consider that AAA quality or really good AA quality. I don't really like putting the AAA and AA labels on stuff, but for this kind of context, since Jez is bringing up AAA, I feel like it's relevant to talk about it in that type of content. Now, I myself would consider Techland and games like Dying Light 2 and Dying Light AAA quality, but I don't know what Jez Corden feels like that studio is. I would assume he feels like it's AAA quality too, but he might feel like that's like really high AA, like something like Ninja Theory. So it's kind of curious how they went through all of those troubles with the development and then they just came out at the other end looking all squeaky clean and their games come out in December. That could probably most likely be how it went. They just had some bumpy rides and they got back on the track and now they're fine. Or maybe Microsoft, and there was a little bit of that rumors that was going around about 6 months to a year that Microsoft stepped in there, helped them, and they purchased the company. That might be true, but we don't know. If I doubt it. That is me literally throwing a Hail Mary and going off of what I see, and it has nothing to do with what Jez Corden said, because he clearly said AAA hype level, and I'm pretty sure he thinks that company's a AAA company. But E3 is a week away, and we are excited, man. E3 is one of the biggest moments for a gamer, especially hardcore gamers that keep their ear close to the ground for all the new information and all the games that they're going to be playing in the next couple years. And the fact that Jez Corden gave me a little bit of hope that maybe a studio acquisition will be announced at E3 made that show a little bit more lit and gave me a little bit more hype for that show. Clearly, like he said in here, he said that he has no proof and he wants to keep people's expectations in check. He doesn't know if they're going to be there, but he feels like there is a good chance. He just has no proof behind that. But anyway, tell me what you guys think of a small developer, maybe a AA, maybe an indie developer. Like I said, a lot of indie games have went to Gamepass, so I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft picks up one, maybe even two of those. And it's like I said, my hope would be that they pick up Techland because I love the Dying Light franchise and I'm really excited for Dying Light 2, and to see that on that Xbox platform like that would bring a lot of joy to me. But anyway, put that in the comment section below. Who do you guys think Jez Corden is referring to in this? And I'm curious to see your guys' opinion. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.